guys, and welcome back to the weird part of YouTube, aka my channel. So it's been a really long time since I actually recorded a video with my face in it. So today I'm going to be talking about this cringe fest and an extremely problematic show called Indian Matchmaking. Notice with the codes Indian Matchmaking. So Netflix has been launching a lot of these dating kind of shows like Love is Blind. You have your Too Hot to Handle, which are all like really good shows, and also they're kind of at another level of cringe as well. But this Indian Matchmaking show takes cringe to a whole new level. I mean, it is bad, it's problematic, and I can't believe that in 2020 we're still discussing a lot of things that should have been like cancelled a long time ago. And so anyways, so a few days ago, I got this trailer on my feed, like in my YouTube feed, and it was like, what's the show and everything. So I did, and I watched the trailer, and it was about this lady called Seema Taparia. She was a professional matchmaker and claims to be India's #1 matchmaker. I don't know how far that's true, but let's just assume that for this show and this script and the nature of the show that it's true. She travels from places to places, from India to US to a lot of other places, Middle East, I guess. They don't show it in the show, but then there are sort of extracts where she does mention she does that. And she basically travels around, and so this show basically revolves around a few characters. Again, it's not like one episode is based on one character from start to finish and it gets over. It sort of is a journey that is throughout the whole season, where in the first episode they introduce them, what the problems are, and then later on it just goes on and how people are dealing with. The problem is that it's very regressive, it's extremely misogynistic, and it's bad. Like, I mean, these are the things that should be like canceled a long time ago, and I don't know why we're still discussing this or why it's still being broadcasted. So anyways, we're gonna travel as well with we're basically traveling with them. There's Aparna, who is sort of like the kind of the lead of the show, because she's almost in every episode. She's a lawyer. She's 34 years old. She knows what she wants, but she's extremely picky, according to the Seema lady. She's also very problematic, if you ask me. Like, for example, she just rejects a guy because he doesn't know where Bolivian salt flats is. I mean, come on. Not a lot of people know where. I mean, people have heard of salt flats and what Bolivia is, but it's not. I don't know. Like, people shouldn't be judged because they don't know what it is. I mean, that's what you have Google for, to educate yourself. I mean, that's kind of thing. Like, she was extremely problematic. She talked over her dates all the time. She didn't give a person to like speak for himself. She also basically gaslighted a lot of conversations. She was like, why do you put the word relaxing in front of it? Like, I mean, just by looking at the show, you just see it. I don't know how far it's scripted. I'm sure this whole show is scripted, and she might be a really nice person in real life, and she might be acting that way. I don't know. Like, I felt really problematic. But and her friends don't call it out. Like, if I had a friend who was this problematic, I would call it out. I mean, that's what friends are for. But whatever. Then there's Nadia. Nadia deserves the whole work because she's an absolute sweetheart. She gets stood on her date twice. The guy basically ghosted her, but she has a stronghold, and it's honestly really refreshing. I mean, if you have to watch the show, watch it for Nadia, because she's an absolute sweetheart. And the kind of thing that whether they end up with the date or what happens is sort of like a cliffhanger, so that there'll be a season 2 and we can actually watch it. And then there's also Akshay, who is by far the most problematic person I've ever seen in the show. Like, he wants a girl who's not ambitious, who's like flexible, kind of like the gymnast, who is basically his mom 2.0, and kind of babysits, makes the bed for him, and adjusts. And I think the word adjust and flexibility is thrown a lot, especially towards women who basically, you need to give up your new dreams, you need to do this to make sure your husband or your future partner can cope with it. I mean, these are the kind of regressive things that I thought like we put away with it. I mean, why are we still discussing? It's making me really mad. So there's another character called Pradyuman, who's also like really I would say very narcissist. there's also this when they're introducing these characters, they basically this lady Seema, who is also the lead in the whole season, kind of goes to their house, judges their wardrobe, judges their lifestyle, judges everything. Basically, a very judgmental show. And then she goes in Pradyuman's wardrobe, which is like number locked, and then they show the wardrobe, and he has an aquarium in his dining area. He serves nuts dipped in liquid nitrogen and served with money bills as tissues. I don't know, I'm sure the money bills are just tissues, but like it's fake. But the kind of brand, I don't know who this show basically is targeting or who the target audience is, but it's definitely not the common people. No one's that affluent, I guess. Like, I mean, I don't know, but he's very narcissist and basically reduces the girl to an object, saying that she has to be fair, she has to be slim, she has to be above a certain height, she has to be really attractive. I mean, it's basically reducing women to an object, and that's the whole thing that I find it very problematic. I'm throwing the word problematic over and over again because the show is. For example, there's this one lady who's supposed to be smart, then Seema, who's like apparently the matchmaker for modern times, and she basically tells this really aspiring and entrepreneur girl that, you know, if your husband or your partner requires you to move and give up on your dreams, you should, because you need to be there for him emotionally. I mean, these are the kind of stuff that I find extremely repulsive and regressive. And I don't know, man, like the show is bad, to say the least. So my final takeaway is that, okay, actually before I talk about my final takeaway, there's also this one character called Rupam. She's also a divorcee. She's a single mom, she's independent, she's awesome. And then this lady basically says, you don't have much options, girl. You need like, you know, you don't have any options. You have like 0 options. No one's gonna marry you, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, there's kind of the normal regressive things that they put around people. And she's like, you know, you need to be very adjustable. You can't just be this. And, you know, cut down a few things from your list. And then she gets a date from Bumble. So that's the kind of thing that I really enjoy, because I was like, whoa, she got a date from Bumble and this lady is being, you know, super critical and, you know, like judgmental AF. And, you know, she just basically puts a point that, you know, you can find love. So yeah, don't watch this show, guys. I mean, if you want to, it's kind of like after watching like 8 hours of it, it's not really 8 hours, but close to 7 hours of it, I can just say that it is, it's not meant for the modern times. I mean, I don't know who the target audience is, but it's definitely not the normal people. The show kind of reduces girls to like just a physical object. They need to be fair. I mean, we're still talking about color in 2020 after all the protests. We're talking about, you know, it's just bad. Like, I don't know, like we're talking about, you know, color. We're talking about, you know, a lot of baseless things. Like, for example, there's this one extract where the astrologist says they should be good in bed. I mean, are these the kind of things that are, you know, being discussed? Like, I don't know, like this is so cringe. It's kind of the cringe that is so bad that it's so good. So yeah, if you want to watch it over the weekend, I don't know, but don't have any takeaways from it. Don't objectify a person based on that. Don't stereotype Indians or South Asians based on this. That's all I gotta say. So my takeaway is that I'm not gonna watch the show anymore. It's problematic, and there are a lot of juicy bits on Twitter that's going on that the editing was really bad, that people weren't actually like the guy who stood up Nadia twice was actually not stood up twice, and there was some bad editing. So it does seem like it's scripted. You know, there's a lot of things, especially with Akshay's mom, who's like saying like, you know, she needs to be flexible. I'm gonna choose the girl for her, even if he's not interested because he's 25, and you know, because of him, his brother can't get laid. There's a lot of problematic stuff. I mean, you would get it if you watch the show, but don't, seriously. There's better things you can do. Spend 7 hours watching some other good stuff on Netflix except this. So that's all, y'all. See you later in another video. Hopefully you like this video. If you have any hateful comments, do write them below. What do you think about the show if you haven't seen it? And that's all, y'all. So all I gotta say is that it's problematic. Don't take away anything from this, and that's all. See you later in another video. Bye.